Story: Scotland, summer of 1520. A narrow rural road cuts through the Scottish countryside. It's summer, but the cold is still in the air. A thin layer of fog rolls slowly over the green hills, softening everything it touches. A man drives a wooden cart. His wife sits beside him. Their young child sleeps quietly in the back. A simple laugh, an ordinary journey. No sign that this road will never lead them back. The cart suddenly slows. The horse becomes restless. From between the rocks, eyes appear. Then figures emerge. Large men, young but visibly deformed. Tall, broad, misshapen bodies. Something deeply wrong in their faces. This isn't a robbery. These aren't ordinary bandits. There is hunger in their eyes, a hunger for something far worse than money. They attack. The only sounds left are screams. There are no witnesses, except the crows, descending quietly to pick at what remains. That family will never enter history books, but their names will be added to a list that never seems to end. Did you know? The famous horror film, The Hills Have Eyes, is not pure fiction. It was inspired by one of the most disturbing stories ever told in Scottish history. A family that lived inside caves, kidnapped travelers, murdered them, and fed on human flesh for more than 25 years. This is the story of Sawney Bean and his family. Who was Sawney Bean? Very little is known about Sawney Bean's early life. Most accounts suggest he was born in East Lothian near the end of the 15th century. He worked as a tanner, a simple trade, a dull life. He married a woman known as Black Agnes. Soon after the marriage, life grew harsh. Money was scarce. Hunger was constant. Agnes turned to superstition, folk magic, witchcraft. People noticed. Accusations followed. And in that era, such accusations had only one ending: fire. Knowing what awaited them, the couple fled civilization. They decided to disappear, to find a new life, far from people, far from judgment, far from hunger. The cave. After wandering for months, they found it. A massive sea cave overlooking the coast, spacious, deep, isolated. A 5-star hiding place. The cave stretched nearly 180 meters inward. Its entrance flooded twice a day with the rising tide. When the water came in, the cave sealed itself. No sound escaped. No smell leaked out. Inside was a vast network of tunnels, side passages, branches that twisted deep into the mountain for over a mile. The perfect place to do terrible things without anyone ever knowing. Sawney and Agnes settled there, and for 25 years they lived undisturbed. From theft to something worse. Sawney had no trade anymore, so he chose theft. He ambushed travelers along narrow roads between villages. But there was a problem: witnesses. So he solved it with murder. And soon, a darker thought emerged. Why bury the bodies? Why buy food? That was the moment they crossed a line they could never return from. They began eating human flesh. A family raised on blood. The diet was rich in protein. The result? Black Agnes gave birth to 14 children. They grew up inside the cave. They married each other. They produced generations born of darkness. Children who never saw sunlight, who never learned mercy, who were taught from the moment they could walk how to kill, skin, salt, and preserve human meat. Sometimes the sea betrayed them. Waves would carry partially preserved human remains onto the shore, but no one could explain where they came from. People vanished. Authorities were overwhelmed, the longest list of missing persons in their history. Search parties,
forest sweeps, road patrols. Nothing. No one ever thought to search a cave whose entrance drowned twice a day. The clan grew. As time went by, the family reached 48 members. They attacked in groups, killed up to 6 travelers at once. Bodies returned to the cave. Women prepared the meat. It was stored like winter supplies. Until one mistake changed everything. The attack that went wrong. They attacked a man and his wife returning from a fair. The woman was dragged from her horse, but the man fought back. He struck, he screamed, he trampled attackers beneath his horse. At that exact moment, a group of 20 travelers appeared on the road. For the first time ever, Sawney Bean's family was outnumbered. They fled, leaving behind a body, witnesses, and a man burning with rage. The king is informed. The survivor was taken to the High Judge of Glasgow. When his story was matched with missing persons and recovered remains, the truth reached the king himself. Believed to be James VI, he arrived with 400 soldiers and tracking dogs. The discovery of hell. Searches led nowhere until the dogs stopped. They smelled decay near a flooded cave. Soldiers entered with torches. What they found was worse than imagination. Human limbs hanging like a butcher shop, piles of bones, clothing, rings, watches, and the remains of human meals. The end. The entire family was captured and taken to Edinburgh. Normal justice was suspended. The men had their limbs severed and left to bleed to death. The women were burned alive, the same way witches were punished. The poem. They hung their bodies high in Edinburgh town. Their kin beside them swayed. The wild winds struck them without mercy, and to hell they went. Final thoughts. Some say the story of Sawney Bean is true. Others say it's a dark legend. But one thing is certain. Real horror doesn't always need monsters. Sometimes, humans are more than enough.
A song was later written to mark the end of Sawney Bean and his clan. Its words were simple and merciless. They hung their bodies high above the streets of Edinburgh. Their kin swayed beside them. The violent winds struck without pity, and into hell they were cast. Today, the cave still stands. No longer a place of fear, but a tourist attraction. Visitors walk its tunnels, laughing as actors reenact the horrors that once unfolded in the dark. And somewhere between history and legend, a painted image remains. The face of Sawney Bean. A reminder that the most terrifying monsters were never born in caves. They were human. Follow the channel to watch the full story.